Welcome to Metal Verbalizers. This is a podcast about supporting and promoting underground metal by inviting musicians to talk about their band. We try to bring you as great bands as we can by inviting bands that we personally really like. Supporting the underground is something that we feel is very important, so that's what we try to do. I'm Johan Verbalizer, and in this episode we will verbalize Skullovich. Alright, so I guess we can start by having you guys introduce yourselves, your name and also what you do for the band.
Hey, Chevy, right here. I'm guitars and vocalist for the band.
I'm Sean, guitars and back vocals.
My name's Jose, and I do bass guitar.
Right. As a kind of follow-up question to that, when did you start singing and playing your instrument? And also, if you guys would like to kind of elaborate on why you started.
Okay. I myself started playing guitar and singing, I want to say, in the early 2010s. Forget the year off the top of my head. So it's a little over 10 years for me. And the band itself started officially in 2019. And these other guys joined in 2021, 22? 22.
I started playing guitar probably 2016, 2017, something like that. So it's been close to a decade for me. And as far as vocals go, for the band, started doing that for the band.
Right.
I was like, can you yell? And he's like, just give me a yell. I was like, okay, that's good enough.
Yell at microphone, that's the job.
I must have been doing bass guitar since 2013. I only picked it up because my best friend needed a bass player for his band that we were trying to start up at high school. And I just stick to the bass ever since, thanks to posting cover videos on Instagram.
Right.
That's how I discovered him too. I was like, oh, he plays bass.
All right. But yeah, also kind of like a follow-up question to you guys. When there are musicians who are playing an instrument and singing as well, one of them usually came kind of before the other. Is that the case for you, or would you say that you kind of started singing and playing kind of at the same time?
I want to say it's been around the same time. I've always just sang along to music, and I've always had an interest in guitar, so it kind of came around the same time. Maybe singing first. I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Right, but it was somewhat at the same time.
Yeah.
Got it.
I grew up listening to a bunch of Ozzy, Twisted Sister, all kinds of heavy metal, classic rock. So always watching my dad sing along. Therefore, I'd be singing along and just wanted to pick up guitar. So yeah, I want to say singing came first, actually.
Got it. Right. So I guess we could kind of move it a little bit to the band itself. So you mentioned when the band was started, 2019, but would you also like to elaborate a little bit on how it started?
Yeah. So officially it started 2019. It started way back in the early 2010s as just a bunch of high school friends of mine who neither of them were in this were in high school with me, but we always just jammed along to Slayer, Accept, just whatever was on. And nothing really came about it, but we always wanted to name the band Skullovich if it did come through. And I eventually came along a drummer named Tyler. He's no longer in the band, but he's still a good friend of ours. We started jamming together, and then that's where the first two demos came along. And after the demos, I immediately wanted these guys on board so we could start playing live. So for the first 3 years, it was just a duo project between me and my buddy Tyler.
Right.
And then eventually evolved into a full band.
Right. So if I kind of understand you correctly, the name Skullovich came way earlier than the band in its current form.
Yeah, it was always just me daydreaming in high school, just you know, when you're bored in class, you kind of just draw skulls or whatever. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what if I just name the band Skullovich? And it just stuck to my head all these years later, and there it is.
Right. Yeah. I mean, personally, I think that it's a really, really cool sounding name for a band, and
There you go.
I think
Yeah.
it was like the name and like combined with the logo, like the artwork for your guys' full-length debut, that really kind of like caught my attention to the band.
Right on. Thank you.
I mean, visuals are massively important for a band too. It's a combination of a lot of things. It starts with the music, obviously, but like
Right.
what's drawn me into dozens and dozens of bands and albums and things like that is the album artwork.
Yeah,
You
for
have like
sure.
a really,
For sure.
really cool fucking cover. It's going to sell more. It's going to draw more people to it because it's just sick as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that I kind of talked about on the podcast a couple of times as well. That the kind of idea that the artwork is usually kind of the first you get in contact with. So it's very important in that sense that it kind of like caught your interest.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
When we commissioned the artist Brendan, I found him through actually another genre called Dungeon Synth. He
Right.
does a lot of fantasy-based art for just solo projects for around the world, and I realized I had some of his pieces in my house, so I was like, I gotta get this dude to paint our album.
Right.
I asked Sean and Jose if they were on board, and the other band member who we mutually parted ways with. But at the time when we were a four-piece, we all mutually agreed like this was the artist. We're commissioning him now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think that the album artwork for The Age of Steel is really, really good looking. And as I said, like, and kind of we mentioned a little bit earlier as well, that you know, it was really like the first thing that I kind of got in contact with when it came to Skullovich, and it immediately kind of sparked my interest. I think something that I really like about it is that like the logo makes it like sound very like or look, I mean, very like, you know, kind of towards the more extreme styles, but also the kind of artwork itself, like with the kind of purple colors and that kind of makes it look like very I don't know, like the right word, but almost like an epic look to it, which that combination like made me very interested to hear like the music.
And that's very much so us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think so too. And like I kind of on that note, I guess it would kind of make sense to ask you a little bit about, for example, if you met someone who have never heard about you before, and you would kind of like describe and explain like what Skullovich sound like. What would you like describe it as?
We've always sort of like tossed the idea that we're like lyrically Dio, or lyrically and musically Dio with the combination of Slayer to it.
Right.
These days we've been like, you know, to the normal person, like not everyone's gonna know Bathory or Celtic Frost. So when we're meeting strangers like at shows or just food shopping, we're gonna be like, oh yeah, we're like Slayer with Dio, maybe some Sabbath.
Yeah, I always just say like if Slayer and Dio had a baby.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we're meeting like actual rock and roll metalheads, I'm like, oh yeah, we're definitely like Viking era Bathory.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty funny description as well, because I think it is pretty accurate. You know, like you're saying, if Slayer and Dio had a baby. I think that's pretty accurate. You know, like something I kind of noticed, like we could of course like discuss all these type of like subgenres and stuff like that. You know, the type of like black thrash, black speed, and whatever. But I kind of feel like putting Skullovich in a category like that isn't really like completely accurate, because I would say that it is definitely part of it, but I also feel like there is a certain kind of, like you're saying, like I guess that's the Dio part of it. This kind of like almost epic feel to it, both in terms of lyrically, but also musically, I would say.
Yeah, we've always also considered ourselves like evil power metal, because I myself like the idea of power metal, but I'm not really fond of it musically.
Sure.
Johan is the opposite. He loves power
Yeah.
metal. So I was like, I want to be like evil power metal. So that's where we coined the term dungeon metal, kind of just as a way to describe ourselves. And it turns out there's another band a couple miles north of us called Cultic, really good band that also
Right.
calls themselves dungeon metal, and they like tackle more of the doomy side of it. Like, yeah, there's
Right.
apparently it's a whole genre happening right now, and we're part of
Yeah.
it, I guess.
Also, I would also say that like you were saying, like evil power metal. I think that's also like a very accurate description of it, because the power metal side was something that I thought about a lot when I heard Skullovich the first time as well. But it's not like it's not power metal, but like you're saying, it's almost like some type of form of like evil style of power metal, almost.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I have actually been practicing my clean vocal range to try and explore more in next album, but
Right.
my vocals were more baritone rather than the tenors in most power metal bands, and I'll toss in some falsettos here and there.
Right. I see. But something else I would like to kind of discuss with you a little bit is kind of like, I guess you could say, the driving force of the band. What would you say is like inspires Skullovich as a band, like the driving force of the band?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Jose, you want to start that one while the rest of us think?
No, we just see here go.
The driving force of Skullovich. To be honest, we just have like such a good time going out and meeting people and like doing shows and making connections.
Yeah.
Like it adds such a
Yeah.
it's adds such good sparkles on top of what this ice cream is we got going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we just like to event and like make things up in the studio. And we just try to like get music out there too and make sure like if people enjoy it and stuff.
I think that's a great point. I think it starts with the people. It
Yeah.
starts with
Right.
it starts with guys in the room who make music, and it's also about the people who are going to the shows, whether they're fans of ours or whether they have no clue who the hell we are. And hanging out with those people, partying with those people, and enjoying the company of them in the sort of crazy heavy metal fucking world that we live in.
Yeah, I
Right.
guess you could say just having fun, and just getting our music out there is the biggest driving force. Like, I think just being on stage and seeing just people just, banging their heads, or
Right.
even being like, oh, this sucks. It's just, I want to see people noticing our music, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
Right.
I guess another driving force that's a little half serious with this is if we could play a show without having to pay for it, like if we could go to a show without paying for it, then we'll play it. Like we just,
Yeah.
Right.
any excuse not to pay for a show.
Yeah. So it's like, if I kind of get you guys correctly, is that kind of like the process itself of, writing music and kind of like getting an outlet for your guys' passion for the music, and, the kind of feeling of playing shows and playing your music is kind of like in of itself sort of the driving force.
Yeah.
Got it. But yeah, also on a kind of like more technical point, I guess you could say, how would you say that the kind of like your music writing arrangement look in the band? Would you say that you're kind of like dividing things between you guys, or would you say that when you're writing, for example, lyrics, is it one person that kind of does that, or would you say that every member kind of puts in their part of it?
So 99% of the time, it's been me playing the lyrics, and if maybe I'll come across like shit, this doesn't rhyme. I need help.
Yeah.
Right.
It's funny because it's kind of segmented in that way where the lyrics, yes, pretty much, I'm pretty sure just about every lyric on the record
Yeah,
is you, but musically our best
best
our
material,
best material comes from us
most
sitting in a
streamed
room.
material.
Yeah. Most successful material comes from us sitting in a room.
Yeah.
Right.
Like our one single, By the Sax I Rule, that was like the first song we ever wrote, like all of us at the same time in the room, just like
Right.
exchanging riffs.
Mhm.
And now that's our most requested song to play live, and it's also our most streamed out
Mhm.
song on the streaming platforms. So we what we're doing with this new album is like, yeah, we got some riffs in our back pocket, but we're like, we need to be in the same room when we're writing because otherwise it's not going to be as epic and powerful.
It's not going to be as good as, you know, the sum of all of our influences together. I think that's what really makes a band.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of times when you have like a solo project or you have one guy who writes all the music, it could be awesome for a while, but sometimes it can get stale.
Right.
And I think that that's sort of what we're avoiding by being just so much of a group effort.
Yeah.
Got it. But like, since you specifically mentioned that song, would you say that that wasn't the case in general for the album? The kind of group effort in terms of songwriting.
So yes and no. A good half of the album was written before these guys even joined.
Yes.
But I'll let Sean really put in more details. But when he joined, I gave him full reign to like rewrite the rhythm sections for the pre-existing songs. So I'll let him go more detail on that one.
Yeah, sure. So like the first couple practices were just for the purposes of being able to make it through the first couple shows. But
Right.
once we started to actually, or at least I started actually to feel as though I was a part of the band in a way, I started kind of trying to put my own stamp on stuff. Like every one of the older songs, if it's on the older demos and on the record, I have a pretty big stamp on it.
Yeah, Jose as well.
Jose as well. Keeper of Fate, Death Dealer, Flames of Chaos. Like there are every one of those songs. There's different riffs in there, things that Jose came up with, things that I came up with, and it's exactly what I was kind of talking about in the last point, where it's now becoming the sum of a bunch of different people and all of their influences. And I mean, personally, I like it better.
Yeah, yeah. It's
No offense.
no, I mean, yeah. It feels more. I feel more connected to my mates when we're writing together rather than to go, all right, here's what you play. Do it.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense to me as well. But I guess we could also, if you guys would like to discuss like the lyrics itself a little bit, because something that I noticed very like quickly, just by looking at the song names, for example, like you were mentioning earlier, like by this axe I rule. Yeah, that's the kind of like very medieval, epic power metal style to it, with like taverns and spells and stuff like that. So would you like to elaborate a little bit about that?
So this is going to lead into a few things, but like Skullovich in itself, I've like kind of, this was also like my little baby to explore my writing, where I could open up lore, world building, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, even though none of us play that.
Right.
But I've written Skullovich to be like this chaotic ruler of all evil kind of entity in the story that I'm building. And each song, even though it's not a concept album, I explore it to be like its own story in the lore. Except for By This Axe I Rule, I literally wrote that just like as to be its own single, which was a good thing because it's just about being a badass with an
It's
axe.
a song about a dude with a big fucking act.
Like, there's no story behind it, but every story, it's like it builds up a little lore, especially the title track, Age of Steel, where
Mhm.
I made the poor mistake of writing 2 pages of lyrics. to
Wrote an
sing.
entire fucking book.
That's where the Tolkien influence comes from. But yeah, I'm
Right.
still trying to remember the lyrics to that song to this day. But that song in particular really opens up the world and lore that I'm building for um, the band. Like, I can tell you um, that we've also included little lore books at shows that we hand out for free, where it like tells you what Skullovich is, what the world is, and more of that is actually going to be explored in the next album, where one of the tracks we're writing is actually going to be centered on the character Skullovich and like where he comes into this world and what he does.
Right. So like that was also one of the things that I really enjoyed with the Skullovich as a band. That kind of like both in terms of like the lyrics, but I would say that the kind of lyrical themes also ties very well together with kind of like the sound of the band, like the kind of like you were describing it, the evil power metal sound, and like the artwork. I think that everything of that kind of ties together very well.
Thank you. Yeah. I also try to put in like little figurative languages and allegories for like actual real world issues. Like in America, our country's, admittedly pretty fucked right now due to all the government concerns. So some of our lyrics, like Flames of Chaos, it really alludes to like my personal feelings about what I feel is like the downfall of society. But
Right.
you also got like songs like Under a Spell, where it deals with, it's a metaphor for depression and mental health struggles. And we got a new song that's like dedicated to our friends and family that passed away. So that will be like in there as well. So we like to really, it's not just going to be like, oh yeah, it's sword and sorcery, but it's like got like deep hidden meanings to it if you like really look into it.
And I think it's important for songs to mean different things to different people too.
Yeah.
Where some people will just see a song about a fucking sorcerer, but some people will hear the some people will also kind of hear the mental health influence of it, or hear the
Right.
just the back. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's kind of important too.
Right, yeah, I think so. It's sort of like if I get it correctly, that when you're writing from like almost like metaphors rather than
Yeah.
to
There's layers to it.
specifically, you kind of get that effect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really where the Dio influence comes from.
Right. Right on. But I would also like to discuss a little bit about your guys' future plans.
So, future plans. So we
Just like in terms of if it's upcoming shows, upcoming music.
Yeah. So we actually just officially we took the summer off because Sean and I had a lot of personal issues going around, and I have another band, so not a hiatus, but kind of a hiatus. But we're back in full throttle, kicking ass, taking no prisoners. We've also just started discussing getting a new drummer. We've already got someone on board, so we're gonna jam with them after I come back from a vacation, and I already got, I think, about 3 to 4 shows lined up.
Yeah.
The first show we're going to play, we're still waiting on a flyer for it, but apparently it's like medieval LARP, where like we're literally going to be the backing band to dudes in medieval garb beating the shit
Right.
out of each other with swords and shields, like MMA, like boxing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's for what's called the Armored Combat League. It's going to be in Perryville, Maryland. It's the North American Finals for the Armored Combat
Right.
League. Yeah, so it's going to be fucking sick.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Not like
Yeah.
be like, oh my god, he just fucking killed that guy.
Like One of my other bands was the backing band for wrestling as well as stripping.
Right.
But I think Skullovich being the backing band for actual
Medieval
medieval
combat.
combat, I think it's just
I mean, it does sound pretty perfect to me.
yeah. If I may also show, we've started incorporating live theatrics into our band.
Right.
Shit, where's the flip camera button?
Is it not that?
Oh, my bad. Okay. So this is the Mask of Skullovich. We usually
Right.
have a friend. Usually we try to have our tallest friend in the city wear it, and we have like a little costume for him, like robes, gloves, wizard staff, or a sword. And we
Right.
have another friend who is named the Dungeon Wench, and he like we just like do Alice Cooper-esque theatrics on stage
Right.
now, where we have this evil wizard dude like taking this dungeon wench hostage, and it's just a good time. And then we have the same girl just dancing on stage with us.
Mhm.
If you know who Midnight is, it's the same exact
Yeah.
dancer. Actually, we're good friends with them, so their dancer is also our dancer. Her name's Elizabeth. She's an awesome person.
Yep.
So while we're at that combat league, we will literally have evil skeleton wizards and um, dungeon strippers. It's gonna be great.
All right.
We might need to dress up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've started incorporating like more. We're trying to find that fine blend of heavy metal gear with literal medieval metal gear.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like got like chainmail to wear underneath my vest, and getting like some more leather gauntlets between all of us, and it's just slowly taking over. It's going to
Right.
be cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's the good
I
thing about
really,
it.
really like that type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, would you like to talk a little bit more about the upcoming plans you guys have?
Um,
For example, is there any like details about the upcoming music that you could share?
yeah, the music we're trying to like not write off the coattails, but the album really did help us figure out what sound works for us. So we got two songs that we've got so far. Plus, we're re-recording another song that we didn't record for the album. So three songs. One is like mid-tempo with a thrash part to it. One is just pure blast beats, thrash,
Right.
full
Straight
force
punch to the
ahead.
face.
Yeah, we got Jose on one of those songs, like just doing. It's just gonna be Jose for a good minute, just laying the beat down while
Getting
I
after
just
it.
with gang vocals. It's gonna be tough. And then our third song, we've decided we're gonna start playing again. It might just be its own single. It might be on the album, but on our second demo, we have this very Candlemass-esque song called Nightmare that we've decided it's going back on the set probably for the album too. We're gonna explore that one, try and rewrite it a little bit so everyone gets their touch on it. Maybe revisit the lyrics as well. So that's already three songs in preparation for what we're calling the next era right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, with that description and kind of keeping the Age of Steel in mind, that does sound very interesting to me, and that's something
Yeah.
that I personally really look forward to.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, like, if there's not anything else you would like to talk regarding the plans for the future, that is pretty much everything I had for you guys. But is there anything else that you would like to say before we end?
Um, bang those heads as if up from the dead. Always got to worship the old gods like Paul Bailoff. You know, even the Bay Area thrash scene. That's hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank them.
Yeah, exactly. That's just kind of where it all comes from. And just if there's anybody out there who's listening to the podcast who's never heard of us, check us out. We're on every single form of social media, pretty much. We have live stuff on YouTube. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, all of the shit. So just give us a spin if you haven't, and if you have, give us another.
Let us play your country.
Definitely.
Please. We want to get the hell out of America.
Let us play your country and let us stay there.
Please let us play your country. Yeah, I'm just very excited for people to listen to what we have going out now, and for people to re-listen to Nightmare since it's off all streaming services. And I'm just excited to catch both new ears and returning ears, and I'm more excited to just meet everybody wherever we play. You know, the only furthest north we've been was Massachusetts, and south was Charlotte, North Carolina. So it'd be awesome to
miles.
Yeah. And we haven't really been very far west yet, so I definitely would.
I really want to go west, and I definitely want to go east into Europe.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll play in the middle of the ocean if you have a fucking show out there, but
No, we got to play Central America. We got a
we'll
translator right here.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I would like to thank you guys very much for taking the time to record this episode.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It was a pleasure.
Man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's the pleasure is definitely ours as well. So yeah, keep up the great work, and good luck with the future of the band.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
so much.
Definitely keep us updated on this podcast. We'll definitely help promote you a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Excuse the cat in the background.
Excuse the cat.
But yeah, thank you, and have a good one.
You too.
You
man.
too. Take care.
Take care.
Now when the episode is over, we hope that you're encouraged to go and listen to Skullovich. If you agree with me and think Skullovich is a really great band, then please go and show these guys some support. Going to their shows and buying some of their merch is incredible support. But there are many other great ways that you can support them. Share their music with your friends and in internet communities, as well as interacting with their social media accounts. All these things would help Skullovich greatly. So please consider doing that and help these guys. Of course, we want to thank you a lot for listening through the entire episode. Thank you very much in general for listening to and supporting Metal Verbalizers. It is something that we really appreciate, and we want to really thank you guys for. We will be back to verbalize again next week.